Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week of racing. Yes, it is. It's Rush Racing League, round number 15, Division 1, Imola. And it is a big one. 63 flying laps around Imola tonight. It is a 100% race. It is going to be a very long night indeed with the one-shot quali. Then we're going to go straight back into the race, and it's going to be a long one. But it's going to be entertaining as this track has interesting track limits variations, doesn't it, Andy?
It does indeed, sir. Yeah, Imola is always one that's going to test the ability of the drivers to stay within the white lines. And 63 laps, mate. We may well see a heap of penalties for track limits tonight. I'm looking forward to it, though. 63 laps, cracking stuff on a Saturday morning for me. But yeah, good stuff. Can't wait.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the guys to get all ready to go, and then we will get underway. So, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting night ahead. 63 laps around Imola. How do you think these guys are going to share tonight?
Well, I think, like I say, I think the track limits is going to test the guys. I'll be interested to see how the one-shot quali goes. Obviously, people trying to chase down Campbell Adams at the top of the standings. The pressure's on because we're running out of races for the guys to catch him. So it'll be interesting to see who pushes it. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing how Aiden handles it. Obviously, Campbell Adams, SFR Finns. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And like I said, with 63 laps of racing, we say it every week, but patience and composure are going to be very key and critical in such a long race.
Yeah, without doubt, it is going to be a very interesting one. Yeah, just going to be. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, but I don't know if any of these guys have fallen asleep or not. But come on, let's go green, guys. Let's
Get
get on
going,
with it.
boys.
Yeah, here we go. Now they're all coming through. They've all decided to get that second wave being told there. So hopefully we will get underway very shortly with 20 seconds countdown ticking by. And we are going to get on board with some racing, which is going to be really exciting. And I'm looking very, very forward to it. Panic with the subscription, mate. 8 months subscription. Really appreciate that, mate. That is a long haul of subscriptions as well. Hope you all did enjoy your free Nitro. You will be getting it for the 3. Well, yeah, it actually ended, I think, yesterday. Yeah, it's we're gonna have to wait and see what we go. But let's go straight to the paddock and let's get on board with some racing, Andy.
Yeah, looking forward to it, bud. The one-shot quali is always a bit of a test. You've got one chance and one chance only to make it work. Get yourself round Imola. Keep within the white lines. At that final 2 turns, I guess, is probably the place where people will be challenged the most on this track. But yeah, who can challenge Campbell Adams? That's the big shout, I guess, as we head towards this one-shot quali.
Yes, that is going to be the one, isn't it? Obviously, there is a few people out tonight, unfortunately, which is it is out of not much we can do about it, unfortunately. But we do have 7.
They must still be out trick or treating.
Yeah, it must be. Must
still out trick or treating.
Yeah, must still be doing Halloween. So we got 17 guys getting up and getting underway in Imola for a very long night ahead, which I'm sure this is obviously going to be painful for probably all 17 of these guys. Maybe some of them it won't. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, there is a full weekend of this, so you have got Division 2 and 4 tomorrow night to enjoy the aftermath of 100%, and then also Division 5 on the Monday, and then obviously on the Wednesday you then have Division 3. But at the moment we've got a few guys that are jumping in as reserves. Roller jumping as reserve for the RB. You've also got Micromash jumping in as well, Maraki Don, and also Shifty Wizard jumping in tonight from Division 2, and the same with Kalki as well. As we do see F1NZ, there are no Astons, unfortunately. Could not get any drivers at all. No one decided can drive up from the Tier 2, from Division 2 as well. So really unfortunate there. So, yeah, no points for Astons in Division 1. And this has been a bit of a problem, hasn't it? That the people's commitment has probably gone a little bit downhill since the game has not brought back what 23 did last season, Andy.
Yeah, for sure. I guess in total the game has seen a huge drop off.
Yes.
Which is disappointing, but that's what you get if you can't put a decent game together. You're going to have less people playing it. But the guys that are playing it, coming round that final turn now. Who are you on board with? You're on board with Sir Joshy, aren't you? So Sir Joshy coming round that final turn. Looks like Campbell Adams is going to take pole. He's in the 13s. Is Campbell Adams. So that is a pretty sensational lap. And as per usual, Campbell Adams is setting the pace here in qualification.
Yeah, look at that again. Little 1:13.5, so 4.5 tenths off him is F1NZ, and it's really good to see F1NZ in P2. The last few weeks he's really struggled with some of his qualifying, so really good to see him up there right at the top. We got Viper there in P3, they got Toy Coin there in P4, and Sir Joshi in P5. Really good to see not that many invalidations either, so the guys are really doing quite well there. We also got Bajman Cam, I think he invalidated. We've got Micromash, Dragon, and Maraki Don all invalidating as well. So 13 guys, no invalidations, and some still good times there. But this is going to be a track where it's going to be full concentration, and they'll be looking at that race director and watching out for those track limits there, Andy.
Yeah, they will. Unfortunate for four of the guys there to get disqualified or whatever they've done to miss out on finishing the front row. Qualification was very, very blue sky and sunny. We're at the start of the race here, as you can see from the paddock, everyone. As happy and enthusiastic as the crowd are there above the DHL sign, other shipping firms are available. The skies are a little bit more murky as we head towards the grid for the full race there, SJ. Are we going to see some weather? Are we going to see something that's going to heighten the senses further on this 63-lap race? I actually just saw a flash of rain on my screen momentarily. That was bizarre.
Well, 41 people are tuning in, getting ready for this battle of commences, and it is looked like it could be a little bit of rain, so we could see some rain very early on. We're going to get underway. We're just waiting for the guys to get ready to go, and then we will get underway. Remember, 63 laps around Imola. It will probably go quite quick. It is quite a small track. It's not the biggest track of all, but it is one that we've never done a 100% race on. So, Andy, take it away for the beginning of Division 1.
Yes, will do. 5 lights are on and they're out, and it's showtime here on Saturday evening for Rush Racing League. And it's Campbell Adams setting the pace down towards turn 1, then close by its Finns, Viper, Sir Joshi, Aidis, Raidens, Brian Apples. That's your top 6 as they head down through the S's in towards the hairpin. Aiden's Raiders left the session. I'll go and try and get him.
Lost him already. Oh, there's a spin in the back. Oh, drama's going, and Shifty's round. Shifty's onto the gravel. There's a few things going on there. What has happened there? Is that the cause of Dragon? We'll have to wait to see, as there was an incident there going into turn 1, but Campbell Adams is on his way, and he is gone. Shifty, unfortunately, having a bit of a spin there. We've lost Aiden as Raiden very early on. Not many moves happening left, right, and centre, but there is a few at the back, so we will be bringing that in there. Lap 1, there was an incident there between Shifty and Dragon. So we will be investigating that after the race. I'm just going to...
Yeah, we will. Toincoin down 9 positions here on the first lap as they come round to cross the line and start the second lap as DRS. I'm assuming DRS has been made available. The rain isn't too hard just at this precise moment in time as Viper takes second place from Finns down the long home straight. The rain's already here. How long is it going to take for these guys to move themselves onto the intermediate tyre? Nothing to speak of right now in terms of the rain. It's not that bad. Yellow flags in Sector 1, Sector 2. And that looks like a Mercedes and a Kick Sabri, Keithy and Dragon. Oh, Dragon's actually in the pits. So it's the other. It's Aiden is raiding. So Aiden is raiding. I don't know whether he's back in or not. I can't see him on my list.
We've got another one there. This is definitely, yes, it is a bit messy at the moment as lap 2 there. Keithy will be investigated after the race. Oh, there we go. Edge is doing the onboard. Awesome. So there we go. Aiden and Keithy will be investigated. And we're seeing some drops of rain already. Thank you very much, Edge. Appreciate you doing onboard for us tonight. Campbell Adams leading the way, though, is 7.5 teams in front. Got Viper in P2. Then F1NZ. Sir Joshi in P4. Chandler's in P5. Leffidid in P6. Napples in P7. Mr. Roller in P8. Kalki in P9. Micromash in P10. Toincoin in P11. Losing that front wing. That's really unfortunate. Team Benjamin Cam in P12. Then we've got Maraki Don in P12. In P12 as well. Sorry, it looks like two people are in P12. Benjamin Cam P11. Maraki Don in P11. Benjamin Cam P12. Shifty in P13. Keefe in P14. Aiden Aswaden in P15. Toyn Coin in P16 and Dragon in P17 on those intermediates already. And well, it's lap 3 out of 63, and we've had a little bit of drama already. But the rain is down. The rain is coming. How long is it going to be before Campbell Adams decides to make a decision and get onto those intermediates, Andy?
Yeah, I think Campbell will probably stay out a couple more laps. Like I say, it's not heavy yet. The key indicator for me playing the game is that when I can see the raindrops having an impact on the track is normally when I'm looking to switch and cross over to the wet tyre. But it doesn't look like that right now. And I would imagine that plenty of guys will stay out for at least one more lap. I guess the disadvantage you've got if you're Toyn Coin and Dragon right now is that because the rain isn't having a massive impact on the surface, you're going to be wearing those tyres out pretty sharpish. So they'll be wanting an absolute downpour sooner rather than later, as we do see a couple of guys diving into the pit lane now in Kalki and Maraki Don. But that's it at the minute, as Dragon picks up 3 seconds for his interpretation of track limits, not meeting that of the race director. That's the first penalty of the evening, and struggling on the intermediates there.
I'm sure that penalty won't be the last. Obviously, Aiden's Raiden is still asking for an invite, so if we can get him in, that would be awesome. Viper putting pressure on Campbell. Only 5.5 teams at the moment behind him. He's in with a nice little breathing space at the moment, so Campbell not running away with it. It's quite early days at the moment. We've obviously got lap 4 out of 63 at the moment on Viper. And then we've got F1NZ behind him, P3, who's got Sir Joshi right on his tails at the moment. We are going to see this track really start to get damp very, very quickly in probably the next couple of laps. So we'll just jump on board with Campbell and we'll see what happens there. As we've got a yellow going on, then Dragon is in onto the gravel there, unfortunately, but Campbell is in. Campbell's gone in. Bergman Cam has got a 3-second time penalty. That's really unfortunate. Viper continues, and Campbell moved very, very quick over the line there. Will that be an investigation due to crossing pit lane before getting into the pits? That will be the interesting one there, Andy. We'll probably be looking at.
Yeah, for sure. As they begin to flock into the pit lane, the weather is getting a little bit worse. More penalties for Badgerman Cam, Viper Chandler's, MJ Roller, Micro Mash, and Keithy currently still flying around the track. 12 seconds off the back, though, is Keithy. So he'll be wanting to get in and get that done ASAP for sure. Because that rain now, you can see that rain on the track. I'm sitting on board with Campbell Adams at the moment. Yeah, you can see the raindrops having an impact on the asphalt. So that'll be interesting for him. And this is going to cause some gaps now, I would imagine, the rain.
Yes, it is definitely. You've got obviously the top 4 on those mediums. Did you request it? Use your points. Did you use your points? Yep. Okay. We'll jump on board with Campbell Adams on the next lap, and we will jump on board for an onboard very, very soon. But we still got 5 guys on the. We've got 4 on the mediums at the moment. Then we've got Keefe on those hards. As we've got Campbell Adams, as we're going to just jump on board with Campbell Adams very, very soon. Forward. Oh, there's a little bit of a contact there between Campbell Adams and Keefe. That might go into the stewards. We'll have to wait there and see what happens. There could have been another incident there between Campbell and obviously with the pit lane earlier, and now a little bit of an incident going on there between Campbell and Keefe coming into that last corner in Sector 3 there, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting that the championship leader getting himself involved. He's going to go up the inside of somebody just coming out of the pit lane there as well. That'll be Viper. Gets himself through. Micro Mash still out in front, but 13 seconds the gap between Campbell Adams and Micro Mash. It's going to be interesting because Micro's going to find himself coming out the pit somewhere in somewhere between P8 and P11, I guess.
Yeah, Aidan, you've been sent an invite from Andy. If you don't get one, I will send you one.
Yeah, he hasn't. I can't find him, mate. I can't find him. He's not on there.
Right, let me have a look. Otherwise, yeah, no, he's not. He's not here either. You're not here, Aidan, bro. You need to add the. You're not coming up, mate. Sorry, you're not coming up at.
He's not coming up on my list.
No. And I've just gone all the way down. No, unfortunately. Let's have a look one more time. Dragon Left for Dead. No. You need to re-add me. Aiden as Raiden. Shane Giles 14. Toy Coin with 3-second time penalty there. So some of the penalties are coming up already. Micromash coming into the pits. DRS is now disabled, so we will have every single guy on those intermediate tyres. And Campbell does lead the way into P1 at the moment, with Viper in P2 and Finn's not far behind in P3. So they are the ones that are running the show at the moment. There is still so many more laps to go in this race, Andy. And there's been a lot of drama going on already on lap 7 out of 63, Andy.
Yeah, lots of drama early doors. The rain really is has a skill-based factor to it in terms of who can tackle it the best. And as it currently stands, no surprises. It is Campbell Adams out in front.
Yes. Well, I'm just trying to get one of the drivers in. He's having difficulty trying to.
I've got him. He's sent me invite now. I've just
okay.
Sent him an invite.
Yep. I've done the onboard there, Dante. It's all done. Campbell Adams leading the way. Aidan Rain hopefully has joined. We've got Viper there in P2, Finns in P3. We're going further back down. We've got a nice little battle on here between Roller and Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead looks like he's just got the job done there. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. We've then got Keefe. We're out of the 3-second. All right, we'll jump on board with Left 4 Dead in a sec. I'm just trying to look. I'm trying to keep looking at what was the onboard. It hasn't shown me what it was, so I haven't got no onboard. Onboard lap request. Onboard lap request, and it's from. There we go. Left 4 Dead. All right, we'll jump on board with Left 4 Dead. There you go. There's a on board for Left 4 Dead at the moment in P6 on those 3-lap old intermediate tyres. The rain is coming pouring down, and well, it looks like we are going to have a very, very wet race. Okay, all good. That's fine. We got Left 4 Dead in that P6 position. He is 4.2 seconds behind Chandler's in that P5. He's got Roller behind him, 1.6. Are we going to see the rain continuing, or are we going to see this track dry up late stages? There's 8 laps very early to get onto the wet weather as Aiden is out of this session, and that's probably a decent clear. So yeah, he will be given a point there, unfortunately. That's unfortunate for Aiden as Raiden there, and he's now left the session, so hopefully that doesn't cause any more problems. But at the moment, do you think that we are going to see more changes happening in the weather-wise, or do you think it's going to be or we're all the way through?
In a sadistic methodology, I would like to see the weather get worse. This is pretty bog standard rain. It's not that heavy. Visibility's good. So if we're going to challenge these guys, let's make it tip down. Let's make the rain come down so we have to switch tyres onto the blue rims. That's what I want. But like I say, on a Saturday morning, feeling a tad delicate, that's just me being a little bit sadistic.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see as Benjamin Tam gets 10 seconds and he's done. He's retired. He's called it.
Wow.
Very early there on lap 9 out of 63. And, Benjamin, please do not leave the session. I know you're probably very angry. Just go and chill and leave your console on, mate, because you are the host as well. So no points in there for Red Bull or Mercedes at the moment. We're now down to 15. And every single driver now will get points. So we'll have to wait and see how we go, as we are seeing flashing yellows flash around all in that Sector 1 area as Benjamin Cam does come out the pits now. But at the moment, there's still battles going on. You've got Toin Coin and Meraki Don. They're really going at it. There's got a nice little battle there between Toin Coin, Meraki Don, and Spry Napples. Spry Napples as well. You've also then got Kalki in that P9 position at the moment as well, 2.3 seconds behind Roller, so still a little bit of a gap there. And you go a little bit further up, you've got 1.7 between Roller and Micromash, and then a little bit further up, Joshi is now gaining on F1NZ with 4.5 tenths. Campbell Adams nearly a second in front of Viper, as Viper does look like he's drifting around those corners a little bit. Campbell looks like he is having the night of his life at the moment out there, very early on, with 53 laps remaining in this race, and it's Campbell, Viper and Finns are your top three. Back to you, Andy.
Yeah, I like what Sir Joshi and Viper are doing, sticking with two of the guys that we know have got incredible pace around the majority of the tracks that we have here at on the F1 24 game with Rush Racing League. So Sir Joshi and Viper doing an incredible job. Viper has just drifted off the back outside of what would be DRS range if indeed it was dry conditions, but doing a sterling job so far, keeping up with the championship leader Campbell Adams in that McLaren. And yeah, Sir Joshi in the Red Bull also keeping tabs on Finns, as Finns seems to drift further and further back from the front two now. Over 6 seconds the gap between the Williams and the V-carb of Viper in P2, Ashay.
Yeah, he's pulled that second in now. So it looks like Campbell is just easing into it, enjoying the race so far. He's obviously got a lot of time. He's also got left for dead in that P6 position, as well as Chandler's gets the 3 seconds. And this is going to be the problem. These penalties are not going to ease up. They are going to continue. We've got obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 cars currently at the moment with 3 seconds. But we have every single car that is going to score points. And there's battles going on here. There's a really good battle between Roller and Micromash. And there's also a nice little battle between Meraki and Spry Napples and Toin Coin. So we are seeing a little bit of battles, and then you obviously got the battle for P3 at the moment between Joshi and F1NZ, and F1NZ seems to really be struggling because he's 6 seconds behind Viper now. And it's still raining, and it is not looking nice out there at the moment. Napples now picking up a 3-second time penalty. And we've got more people picking up penalties again, and they're now starting to add up. You've got 3, 3, 3, 3, and then you've got Dragon down there with 6. But Dragon will get points at the end of this race as it stands at the moment. Lap 11 and 63, Andy.
Yeah, we got some battle going on for P9 right now between Kalki, Spry Napples and Meraki. Spry Napples, Meraki Don and Toin Coin. The car's battling out for P10, actually. Spry Napples has just dropped off the back of Kalki by a couple of seconds. But these 3 cars very, very close as they go through that chicane. Drifting through goes the Kick Sauber with the Haas and the Alpine in close contention. Then down towards that last two corners. Are we going to see a move from Toin Coin? Toin Coin goes good space, and actually Meraki Don loses it at the final couple of turns into the gravel, and Toin Coin takes advantage and goes through. Lost a couple, probably 3 seconds there. Meraki Don's lost, having gone off into the gravel at the penultimate turn, SJ.
Yeah, I'm just reading a few of the comments. A couple of drivers putting default setups on. Not good. Not good. That is going to hurt them the whole race. So yeah, need to. Yeah, that's not good. That's a silly mistake to do there, but it is what it is, and you've got to manage what you've got. So yeah, good for Dragon for continuing on that default setup. We've also just seen that Joshi has got past F1NZ there into that P3 position. So the Red Bull driver last week done a phenomenal race last week. I'm trying to remember where it was now, as we're trying to remember. Oh, as Napples is off. Napples has lost it down into P12. So he has dropped all near his teammate. Now he's actually been overtaken by his teammate. And yeah, hopefully there's not any damage on that car there. As Joshi gets a 3-second time penalty. And there you go. It's one of the top leaders that have got penalties at the moment. So Viper will be in really, really good contention, and so will F1NZ. He'll like the sound of that, but there is a long way to go. And as I was saying before, the now look at this: Campbell, Adams, and Viper are going at it, and Viper is right behind Campbell Adams. Are we seeing a little bit of pressure on Campbell Adams in this Imola circuit tonight in these lovely pouring wet conditions?
Yeah, we absolutely are. Viper's done a cracking job to keep up with Campbell Adams. We know that Campbell Adams has got an incredible amount of pace on the majority of tracks, but Viper's putting him under some pressure here, and he's right there just in case any mistake from the McLaren man. The V-Carb will be ready to pounce. The gap back to Sir Joshi in the Red Bull is 9.6 seconds now, so plenty of space. These guys out in front, Campbell Adams and Viper, will be concentrated on just battling each other. They don't have to worry about anybody else right now. The only thing I guess they've got to worry about in the next few laps is, are they going to catch up with Dragon, and will Dragon become part of the shenanigans as we move further through towards the race? We've still got 49 laps of the race to go. So plenty of chance, plenty of opportunity for all the drivers, I guess, no matter how far back they are. Safety car would really shake things back up again, certainly in these conditions, as Viper picks up 3 seconds, and that just eases the pressure. The pressure was building on Campbell Adams there, but that just eases the pressure as Viper, track limits, becomes the 7th driver to pick up a track limits warning, track limits penalty, and that is not good for the V-Carb man, SJ.
No, not at all. But we won't put it on him. We'll just let him concentrate and get to the end of this race, as we never know what the race director could say. And Campbell could make the same mistake. You know, we don't know. He's 5.5 tenths behind him at the moment. He's been putting pressure on him, and it does look very difficult to drive out there, as we've seen Campbell really push that car around some of those corners, trying to keep it very easy to lose it as well. So it'll be very interesting to see. We've got F1NZ as well, still putting the pressure on Josh. He just needs to stay with him, really, and then he's got to. He could have a real good shot of getting a podium if anything happens here between Viper and Campbell. He does have a 10-second gap, though, Sir Joshi to Viper at the moment, as he's literally just behind. I'm not normally a pitter and a quitter, but I had to make an exception. Benjamin Cam, mate, it's fine. It is what it is, mate. If you didn't have the right setup on, then it is what it is. Very unfortunate, not the way to go, as Red Bull have been in so good form lately, especially with Joshi. And that was what I was talking about, wasn't it? What the race was last week that he... So it was, I'm trying to work out what it was, and my mind has gone complete. Portugal! That's it, Portugal. He was on the podium last week, and he's on the podium again this week. So Sir Joshi, since jumping in that Red Bull colours in that full-time seat, doing a phenomenal job at the moment, Andy.
Yeah, he really is, and it's good to see, a guy who gets into one of the full-time seats, putting it down. I think the, like you say, the Red Bull with Badgerman Camp obviously having to retire this evening. Disappointing for him, but Sir Joshi out there on track. He might be 11.6 seconds off the back of the V-Carb of Viper, but yeah, podium positions. You'd take a podium every week, wouldn't you, if you could get it? Unless you're Campbell Adams. Campbell Adams wouldn't settle for a podium, I don't think, each week. But certainly, good to see Sir Joshi battling it out with Finns there for that final podium piece.
Yeah, no, definitely, and he's got a really good like gap on him at the moment. You know, obviously 11 seconds to Viper, and that can change in a heartbeat. But Finn's just staying with him. He is putting the pressure uh, on the Red Bull, and how much can he put the pressure on him for another 58 laps? We'll have to wait and see there. As Viper is still very close to Campbell Adams. Campbell Adams still keeping clean at the moment within track limits and everything. So Viper doing a great job. Does have that 3 second time penalty as well. As Lefty has just making the move past Chandler's into P5 there. 8.3 seconds behind F1NZ. Chandler's is not going to give up though. Is Chandler's even going to come back at Lefty here? Because he's right behind him, putting the pressure on. Let's see what the Ferrari can do. The Ferraris have been on form lately. You've got one in P6 and P7 at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We've got 89% of the ERS left for dead. It's got 40%. So he's really trying to burn the ERS to pull away from the Ferrari driver of Chandler's there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the that particular battle between Left 4 Dead Chandler's, Micromash just behind. Again, what I'm liking about tonight is that we haven't got loads of drivers all battling for one place, but we've definitely got battles all the way down the grid. Even if there's like a 2-3 second gap, with the weather conditions as they are, that could grow or shrink relatively quickly. The weather doesn't seem to be getting any worse, but it certainly doesn't seem to be getting any better either. Still a very wet track, not much of a dry line showing. So I think that over the course of the next, 45 minutes, if it stays like this, there will be other drivers that begin to make mistakes. Penalties, spins, as we say, penalties. Toincoin picks up a 3 second penalty down there in 10th place, running in formation with Kalki, the two Alpines, P9 and P10. So yeah, I would expect more penalties. I would expect, potentially some more mistakes that could cause people to go off into the gravel, like Meraki Don earlier on in the race. Left 4 Dead has left the session, so I'll try and get him back.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, as we've got Chandler's going around the outside while Andy does that. Chandler's is going to put the pressure on Left 4 Dead, trying to go for the move. It's AI versus real person at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. Happens here is Campbell. Does he goes around the outside? Chandler's gets the job done up into P5 due to Left 4 Dead losing connection. We've then got Viper and Campbell Adams getting very close. Viper and Campbell to take each other out. We'll have to wait and see. Big prediction coming in here, ladies and gentlemen. Will there be any safety cars before lap 53? Yes or no is the answer. You've got three. Well, actually, it wasn't a very long prediction, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, it was. I think it was literally. I think it was about 30-second prediction, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Lefty's power is gone. Oh my God! So Lefty cannot get back in the car at all. So that could be McLaren done and dusted. That means that Chandler's will make the move. Hopefully the AI doesn't cause any problems. Left 4 Dead in P7. Micromash now overtaking him. Sorry, because Chandler's has already done it. Micromash, does he get the job done? Yes, he does. Up into P6. We are going to see Left 4 Dead, unfortunately, fall to the back of this grid tonight with the power out. That is so unfortunate for Left 4 Dead. Going back onto the top though, it is Campbell Adams in front at the moment with Viper behind. 3.5 teams. Viper is all over him. Left 4 Dead, there's a bit of drama going on here. What's happened? We've got Chandler's.
Between the two Ferraris.
It's between the two Ferraris. They haven't come together, have they? Well, you would not want that.
I don't think they came together. I think at the end of Sector 1 into Sector 2 round their hairpin, it looked like Chandler's lost the car. Yeah, he spun. He lost the car. And his teammate, Micromash, has taken full advantage and moved up into P5, SJ.
Yeah, he has. And Mr. Roll is now in the P7 and Left 4 Dead is now in the P8. He's now 1.3 seconds behind Kalki now. And Kalki will grab onto him very quickly there. We've also got Toinko, and he is going to fall down the pecking order. Let's go straight up to the top, though. We've got a little battle going on here between Meraki and Keefe. As Meraki, I think he does lose the position there. And Naples does get in front. Sorry, Keefe does get in front. We've got Left 4 Dead losing out to Kalki now. He's down to P9, and that's literally on one lap. Going back up to the top though, Viper and Campbell still going at it, still close. Can Viper put a little bit of pressure on Campbell Adams and make him make an error? this is going to be the question, isn't it? You know, he has done everything spot on. Those tyres are going to start to go off as well at the same time. Is there a mistake there for Campbell? Is Viper going to put too much pressure on him, and then we're going to have a battle and a half, because then all three will have penalties?
Yeah, and they're catching up to the slower car of Dragon without that setup on. So now as they get through that chicane and head down towards the final two turns, Dragon is just at the penultimate turn now. As these guys come down, you'll be able to see him off into the distance very shortly. But yeah, Viper applying the necessary pressure to the championship leader. Things that we love to see on race night here at Rush Racing League is people having a good tussle at the front of the grid, SJ, on lap 20 of 63.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer to him, around about that 2.5 tens, but doesn't make a move yet. I think he knows he's got the speed. He knows he's quicker in some areas of the track compared to Campbell Adams, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, but he does have that 3 seconds, and we are seeing Campbell Adams get very, very close to the back of Dragon very, very shortly. It will not take long before they start making that move. I'm sure Dragon will get out the way of these guys, but Campbell making a little bit of a mistake there. Viper at his heels, waiting to pounce and get the move done. 2.5 tenths behind, get even closer. Doesn't want to get too closer and end up losing it. That's going to be the problem. He wants to try and stay with him, get into that situation and on that straight, and then try and make the move. If we can send Left 4 Dead an invite, that would be amazing, Andy. We may have power back on for Left 4 Dead. We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look. We'll see how we go. Oh, soon. Not yet.
I did send him an invite earlier on.
2 minutes.
When he was on my list. He's now not on my list, so I'll just refresh it.
He's going to let us know in the comments there, as Dragon does get a 3-second time penalty. As now Viper now, he's extremely close to Campbell. Can he take the lead on lap 20 out of 63? This is going to be the question. He's burning. He's got 62% against 6. Campbell Adams is burning everything he's got. Here we go. Is Viper going to go onto the right-hand side or the left-hand side? No, he stays with him, even though he's got so much more ERS. Is he waiting for him to make a mistake? Is he pushing him into a position to make a mistake? You can see, look how close he is to him. Coming into the corners, we're in wet conditions, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have tuned in, 43 people tuning in, thank you very much. Let's get to the big 5-0. Campbell Adams is leading the way, but he is not leading the way easily. Viper is right behind him, putting the pressure on. He does have 3 seconds. If you are tuning in with us, Left 4 Dead has lost power. He's gone from P5 to P10 within 2 laps. Hopefully he can push that back. We lost Benjamin Cam with no setup. We lost Aiden as Raiden has not been able to get back in the session, and then unfortunately it DSQ'd him and kicked him out, and we've got Dragon left, and we've got 15 drivers left on that 21 out of 63, and this battle between Viper and Campbell is not over. Back to you, Andy.
Yeah, it's not over. It's one to be watched for sure. This battle between our front two. At one point there in Sector 1, there were 600s between them. The front wing must have almost been touching the rear wing of that McLaren. They were that close going through Sector 1 through turns 1, 2 and 3. That's how close the guys were. 600s, and now it's a 10. 600s again. Are we going to see a move down the outside? Has a look, but Campbell Adams moves back over to the racing line, cutting off the route that Viper was looking to take. Close call. Having another look again. So patience is now the key for Viper. He's getting a little bit impatient there. Just having a look going through a corner that you cannot relatively make a pass on into dry. Never mind these conditions. They're approaching the back marker of Dragon. Lap 22 of 63. This is where we could see something happen over the course of the next couple of minutes. Keep your eyes peeled, everybody, on this race and on this battle for P1, because it's going to get spicy.
Yeah, it is. Oh, well done there. Dragon gets out the way, and we've also We've just seen F1NZ has just got past Joshi as well, up into P3, so he's going to be absolutely over the moon. 15 seconds between Finns and Viper. There's a big gap there between P2 and P3 at the moment, but the battle is still on for the podium between these three, as Micro Mash just gets the 3-second time penalty, and Ferrari are doing a great job. They are in P5 and P6. Viper still there. No one deciding to come into the pits. Campbell Adams will be investigated after the race for crossing the pit lane entry, so he could still even lose the lead of this race. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens, as Viper does have that penalty. Can he hold on to him? That's going to be the question, as Campbell Adams is now gaining back that ERS. Was around about 6%. Now it's up to 30%. Viper up to 54. The rain is still coming down. We're going to go further back down as Chandler's is putting pressure on his teammate there, as we're just going to see a difference between the two. They're both on 3 seconds. Roller, though, is actually gaining in on them. 1.1 seconds. No penalties at the moment. And then you've got Calpe there in P8. He didn't cap the pit lane. We'll just wait and see what happens at the end, because we did see him move over quite quickly and we had to put it in there. If it's wrong, then I apologise on that. You got the two Alpines in P8 and P9, and the Alpines will be over the moon at the moment, as they are both in front of one of the other McLarens, and that is the battle going on at the moment with the McLaren in the overalls. We have found out, though, if Campbell Adams does win this, and F1NZ does not get in the top 15 or top 10, then McLaren can win the Constructors tonight as well, Andy. So big points up there. And I wouldn't say pressure, but big points for McLaren. And taking out the Constructors with 6 races remaining is still pretty good going, isn't it, in Division 1?
Yeah, that's crazy, to be fair, with all those races left to go to claim the Constructors' Championship, as Toincoin picks up his second penalty for track limits. He's up to, actually his third penalty, he's up to 9 seconds now, along with Dragon, who's on 9 seconds. Just waiting to see if Left 4 Dead gets himself back in this lobby, because he's plummeted down the order to P13. Now, I guess the advantage with AI driving, there aren't any track limit penalties. So if he can get himself back in, he can begin to try and work his way back up the order. But yeah, Toincoin with 9 seconds, Dragon with 9 seconds, and a whole host of drivers on 3 seconds worth of penalties. Finns 15.7 seconds back of Viper. So at the minute, the Constructors won't be won as it currently stands, because Finns is picking up a nice haul of points. But Campbell Adams, of course, picking up the full 25 points at the minute, and the fastest lap as well. So yeah, fastest lap is sat with Campbell, so he's sat on 26 points at the moment, and Finns will be sat with 15 as we currently stand. SJ.
Yeah, no, a phenomenal job. F1NZ still putting the pressure on that championship lead, even though he is not where he probably wants to be. He's trying so hard to get that P2 or P1 position. He has scored so many P3s here. We are starting to see a little bit of a drop here between Viper and Campbell. Has Viper decided to save up a little bit of ERS and just let Campbell continue? We're on 20 laps on the intermediates at the moment. Still, rain is pouring down. Campbell Adams leading the way. Left 4 Dead dropping down all the way down into P13 now. And, well, Dragon is 27 seconds behind him. So he's got a lot of time to try and catch up to him. So Left 4 Dead could probably have cemented himself in that P13. We'll have to wait and see if he will be received points after this race. If he can get back in, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But at the moment, nice little battle going on here, though, between the Kick Sauber and the Haas of Meraki Don. Meraki Don, as we know, has done quite a lot of races in the reserve program. It's been very, very good. He's leading the reserve program. He's now had his opportunity.
Ferraris! Sorry, the two Ferraris, their hairpin. Chandler's barges his way past his teammate. That was absolutely chaotic. And lucky both drivers didn't go off there as they're battling again. Ooh. Not happy, Micromash. Micromash, you can tell he's not happy. He is pushing hard, and he's got a good amount of pressure from MJ Roller now. MJ Roller down towards the chicane. Is he going to make a move on the inside? No, thinks better of it in these treacherous conditions. Sorry for cutting across and shouting, SJ, but that was bizarre. Insanity from the two Ferrari guys when they're just sat having a nice little race. And Chandler's has had enough, and he has got past Micromash. Micromash isn't happy. You can tell by the driving.
Yeah, he definitely can tell he's trying to push up to him, but now he's got MJ Roller right behind him. This is going to put the Ferraris in a little bit of trouble here because MJ Roller has no penalties at the moment. Micro Mash is on a pen, so is Chandler's, and so is Joshi. So MJ Roller is in a really, really good shot here to get some big, big points, and he could even get further up if anything happens with F1NZ as Dragon gets a 3-second time penalty as well as Viper gets another one, and that's 6 seconds, and now Camel has a 6-second gap to Viper. And there you go. He's putting a little bit too much pressure on, and he's left him a second in front now. And I think Campbell will just run off now and take out the win. 26 laps out of 63. But the battle is not on Campbell and Viper anymore. It's on this Ferrari battle and and RB. As you can see, Roller really trying to put the pressure on, but Micromash must be extremely frustrated. 27% against his teammate's 57%, and we can see the Ferraris go at it again.
Yeah, I think we will see the Ferraris go at it again. I don't know what the Ferrari equivalent of papaya rules is, but we've definitely got it. MJ Roller's just dropped off the back of that Ferrari tussle momentarily, but I'm sure he'll be back. And Toincoin, beg your pardon, Kalki in the Alpine is closing in as well. Only 1.4 seconds between himself and MJ Roller as they fly down the home straight towards turn number 1. The two Ferraris do stay in formation. Chandler's and Micromash, 4/10 between them. Maybe Chandler's has taken it upon himself to get past Micromash and try and close this 13-second gap between himself and Sir Joshi. Yellow flags in Sector 1. The two Alpines, is it? Or is it Shifty Whizzer in the Williams? I think it might be... No, it's the two Alpines, isn't it? Kalki and Toincoin.
Yeah, I think it's Shifty, though. He's going to have to let the Red Bull go through very, very shortly. Otherwise, he doesn't want to get a pen. He's obviously in a points position. He's on 4-lap into, so he has pitted. So it'll be interesting to see here because we can see... I think I would say that is Joshi. Yes, it is Joshi at the moment. That's out in front. We are starting to see some gaps form now. And if you can send an invite to Left 4 Dead, that would be great because I think he is ready to go. Hopefully we can get back into the session. But yeah, there is a few gaps going on at the moment now as Andy will send Left 4 Dead a invite.
Yep,
Napples putting the pressure on Mareki Don, though, in that P12 position against P11 at the moment. 47 people coming in. Come on, 3 more. Get to the big 5-0, ladies and gentlemen. 28 out of 63 laps at the moment, and we've got drama going on everywhere. Let's have a look. Shifty Wizard, has he let the Red Bull through? No, not yet. He hasn't needed to due to that blue flag, so we'll have to wait and see there. Campbell now 2.2 seconds in front of Viper. Viper there in P2. He has literally got a 17-second gap to F1NZ, but a 2-second gap to Campbell out in front. Finn's 17-second gap to Viper, and a 6-second gap to F1NZ there. So Sir Joshi has really lost some time to F1NZ, so he's done some really, really good some driving there to get that far away. You've got the two Ferraris that we've had a lovely night tonight, who've had a bit of drama. Micro Mash is still putting the pressure on there on Chandler's as well, and they don't want to do anything silly here, Andy, because they've got Roller right behind them. And Roller and Kalki have no pens. But these Ferraris are going at it again. They need to make a decision what they're going to do. Oh, as the other one moves over. Chandler's moves over to his teammate there. And we've seen Sainz and Leclerc do this in the real Formula 1. And here we go. Again, Chandler's and Micromash are at it again. And Roller has the front row seat, which I'm going to tune in here and watch Roller watch this happen in front of him, because Micromash cannot get past to he just can't get past his teammate at the moment as Toincoin gets a 10-second speed in the pit lane, and Left 4 Dead is in this session. Hopefully he can take control of his car, but drama with the Ferraris tonight, Andy, on lap 29 as a 63.
Yeah, things you love to see if you're a spectator. If you're the Ferrari team principal, you will be bellowing into your microphone to get these two drivers to start playing ball rather than playing stupid. You know, it is just insanity. If you're the Ferrari team principal watching this back at home, good luck to you, sir, because these two guys, you can just sense the frustration in Micro Masher's helmet. You can just hear it and see it in the way and the style that he's driving, and Chandler's defending for all his worth. MJ Roller front row seat, as you say, and he's ready to pick up the pieces if and when these two Ferraris battle it out, and there goes a piece of car. Whoa, that looked horrific from Micro Mash. He moved out to the left-hand side, and then as they came towards that final turn, he looked as though he was trying to turn into his teammate intentionally. That looked terrific. And is he beached? He's not beached. He has got going again, but that's the Ferrari escapade, Ferrari strategy that we were looking like we were going to have. Micro Mash is going to have to go into the pit lane and replace that front wing because there won't be much left of it. Into the pit lane he comes then. Yeah, absolutely no pit lane. He's done. He won't be finishing. There you go. Yeah, he's called it a day. You could tell by the way he just entered the pit lane that he has had enough and has retired in the pit lane. That is unfortunate, but I would question that. I don't know whether it was an attempted pass. It looked naughty. It looked naughty.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It will obviously be one to look at by the stewards, and what are this? It's going to go to the stewards. And yeah, lap 31 investigation there. So we'll be putting that in now quickly. Investigation. So I'm just trying to write this in while you just take it away. Investigation, lap 31. Micro Mash.
Left for dead, need another invite.
Yeah, please. And Chandler's to be investigated. As Maraki Don picks up another penalty. Yeah, we've seen this happen a few times in Rush history, that two teammates have come together, two cars have come together, that did not bring out a safety car. And 48 people have really tuned in for that because I don't think they believe what they've just seen there. And we've lost a Ferrari, now we've lost a Red Bull, now we've lost a Merc as well. Campbell Adams is 2.7 seconds out in front. He has the 6-second gap to Viper with that two penalties. Two penalties there, and then we've also got F1NZ. We've hit the 51 people tuning in. Really appreciate that, guys. F1NZ, he is in P3 at the moment. Now Chandler's into P4, Roller into P5, Kalki into P6. Are we going to see more drama? Are we going to see Roller now get involved with Chandler's? Anyone got any points? Let's please get on board and spend your points on board Roller, because I definitely want to see what's going on with Roller and Chandler's. And how is Sir Joshi running? Zosk, mate, he's doing all right. He's in P7 at the moment on fresh inters. He was P3. He's doing a good job. Left 4 Dead has joined again. Shame not to have you on the track, my friend. Hopefully we'll see you there next week at Hungary. We'll hopefully get this attendance back up and running at the moment. But here we go. We've got MJ Roller's going to go for the move for P4, P3, because the other guy's in the pits. And he's up in the P3. And look at that. 2 RBs up in the P2 and P3, Andy.
Yeah, super stuff. We've got an onboard request for Roller as well from Marzi. So let's do some onboard action for Roller then, as he gets past Chandler's in the Ferrari. If only his teammate would have done it as cleanly as that, by the way. We'd still see 2 Ferraris racing tonight. But yeah, Roller up the hill then towards turn number 5 and 6. This is a tricky one for track limits as well, but handles it really well. Then back down the hill we go towards this real quick right-hander, and then where you've got to be incredibly careful back up the hill. The climb towards the end of Sector 2 and the start of Sector 3. And of course, that brings us to the chicane. So many different track limits problems here across the track for these drivers. Most of them seem to be struggling because of the conditions, of course. But yeah, MJ Roller doing a fantastic job up in P3. No track limit penalties so far. I don't know whether he's got any warnings, but doing a really sterling job. And now he's past the Ferrari of Chandler's. He's dropping him like a stone. 9/10 that gap right now. A little bit of a slipstream for the Ferrari heading down towards turn one. But MJ Roller doing a fantastic job tonight, SJ.
Yeah, doing a great job. Yeah, Campbell obviously leading the way, and then obviously you got the two RBs, and obviously Mr. Roller taking that full-time seat now for I think 4 RBs as well, which is a really, really good job. So, and he's definitely showing what he can do in Division 1 tonight, which is massive, massive points for RB. It's something that they've been missing. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But we've got Chandler still putting the pressure on 5.5 attempts. I'll have to invite him. 2 secs, I'll do it.
Yeah, my invites aren't working.
Okay, let me try and see what I can do. Let me have a look. There we go. And then we've also got Chandler's and off obviously F1NZ. But we're now starting to see a few of these guys now make the pit strategies and change, getting off those old tyres. As we see there, Campbell Adams now coming into the pits and coming out into the pits. He's going to come into any traffic. We'll have to wait and see, as he actually is going to come into a lap car. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for Rocky Don there. But Campbell Adams has done a fantastic job. 23 seconds behind from Viper now. So pedal to the metal, as we are seeing a little bit of drama going on here, as Chandler's and Roller have both gone in. So they both covered each other off. This is going to be the question. Who's going to get out of the pits first? Is it going to be Roller? Or is it going to be Chandler's? Let's have a look. We're on board with Chandler's at the moment. Chandler's now coming out the line. And there you go. As Roller still gets out in front, he'll be very happy with that, as he's tried to get past him most of this race on lap 34 out of 63. And at the moment, everyone is getting points in this race. We'll have to wait and see, as we're seeing a few other guys coming past those Toincoin into P5. But some of these penalties, though, are absolutely madness. We've got 6 for Viper, 3 for Joshy, 19 for Toincoin, 3 for Chandler's, 6 for Napples, 6 for Keithy, 6 for Maraki Don, and Left 4 Dead. There you go. That's a DSQ. And yeah, there you go. It's there. He's got the glitch as well, which is very unfortunate. Yeah. So Left 4 Dead out of this race. That is a McLaren, a Ferrari, Red Bull, and a Merc. And it looks like we're only going to have one McLaren for the remainder of this race. Bit of drama tonight with connections and setups tonight, Andy, my friend.
Yeah, lots of drama, lots of connection problems, lots of track limits problems. It always makes for a bit of entertainment, of course. We do like a little bit of entertainment on a Saturday evening here at Rush Racing League. And as per usual, Division 1 does deliver. Interested to see, with all the gaps that we've got now, there's some sizable gaps out there. Nobody is within a second. Well, maybe Chandler's is within a second of MJ Roller now, but nothing else across the whole grid is within 1 second. All the track limit penalties, your guess is as good as mine as to what the finishing order is going to be, because all these track limit penalties just, yeah, they're making my brain hurt, quite frankly. My mathematics isn't very good at the best of times, but good lord.
Yeah, no, they are. There's quite a few tonight, and there's even more. There's another
one.
3 as well. The pens are absolutely going flying through the roof. There's been a lot of commotion on tonight. You've had the 2, if you're tuning in with us tonight, you've had the 2 dramas with the 2 Ferraris. Obviously, one unfortunately retiring. You've obviously had Left 4 Dead losing connection power. Unfortunately, couldn't get back in. You had the Campbell and Viper battle go on for quite some period of time. Then Viper put himself into a little bit of pressure and then getting that 3 seconds. F1NZ has just literally cemented himself in that P3 position. Could even cement him into that P2 position if he starts to put pressure on Viper. Because Viper does have 6 seconds and F1NZ has no penalties at the moment. So that could go down to the wire. There's still a lot of time to go and a lot of laps. We've not even had a safety car yet. We've got 13 runners left. And Maraki Don getting another penalty. And the gaps are now really starting to fall completely. So there's not really much going on between the battle between Napples and Maraki Don. Shifty Wizard's doing a great job. He's in that P12. He had that spin earlier on, which is going to be investigated. Dragons obviously put the wrong setup on. Yeah, apart from that, it's penalties galore at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, penalties galore. 1 minute 23 seconds between Campbell Adams and Dragon, currently at the rear of the 13-car pack that's left remaining racing around Imola tonight. We're over halfway, you'll all be happy to hear. Lap 36 of 63. And 28 laps left to go. I guess from a battle perspective, then Meraki Don and Spry Apples currently P10 and 11. Haas versus Kick Sauber. It's really thrown all the battles into the air with all the pit stops that we've had. We have had a lot of pit stops. Chandler's ran into the back of MJ Roller in the pit lane, had to pit himself again to get his front wing changed because it didn't do it when he was in having his tyres done. So, yeah, that is, there's a claim in the chat that he was brake tested. I would argue that you always have to brake when you're going into the pits, and you should expect the car in front to be stopping because guess what? You don't want to pick up a 10-second penalty. So whether or not that was a brake check, brake test or not, will be up for debate, and I'm sure the stewards will take a look at any footage that gets sent in. I was on board with MJ Roller as he went into the pits, and he did slam the anchors on and lost the rear end as he went in. So we'll see. But yeah, it doesn't bode well for good battles and good viewing if we've got these huge gaps. But I would imagine that it'd be interesting to see who's on the new tyre and can they chase down the car in front, SJ?
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, the closest battle is Snapples and Meraki Dawn, as we're looking at the penalties between the two. Obviously, one's on 6 and the other one's on 9. So, and obviously, this is good points for Haas and good points for Kick Sauber. Obviously, Kick Sauber have got both cards in there, and Haas have only got one. So, obviously, the Haas will want to get further and further up. But unfortunately, with those penalties, it's going to be very interesting to see. But we do have Toycoin that has 19 seconds as well, so he'll push himself down the pecking order as well, even though he is in P5 as well. So Alpine in very good position in P5 and P7, and they'll be very happy to see one of those McLarens out of this race, as we've seen the few pure dominance that McLaren have done in the space of the last few weeks as well. George Morgan, welcome, my friend, to the stream. Jumping into the chat, yo, 38 laps, 63. If you don't know who George Morgan is an esports commentator for the biggest league in the world, is PSGL. So feel free to give him a big old shout out. George Morgan, probably if you tune in, mate, you're thinking, what's going on? Well, we've got wet racing at Imola, we've got 100%. And we've had 4 people, unfortunately, DNF, unfortunately, due to the game. And you probably know from this, my friend, that the game is not completely fixed. So we've lost Left 4 Dead due to connection issues. Micromash, unfortunately, came together with his teammate. Benjamin Cam didn't put his setup on, and Aidan Raiden has had serious connection problems. So there you go, we've lost. And we've got 13 guys still remaining. Campbell Adams leading the way, 7.6 seconds. And in P2, behind, 6-second gap with a penalty as well to Campbell Adams. So it looks like this is going to be Campbell's night, unless anything happens between lap 40 to 63, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of action thus far in the first 38 laps of the race, and pretty sure we'll see more action, even with the gaps. I think there'll be a few guys still yet to perhaps drop into the pits. We've got Sir Joshi and Toincoin. They're on 9-lap-old intermediates. They may well be able to take those to the end of the race, but they'll be cooked, certainly. The weather doesn't seem to be getting any worse or any better. So in terms of tyre wear, we should see the ability of those intermediates to go relatively far into the race. Obviously, Shifty Wizards pit yet again. He's thrown on some fresh intermediate tyres. And I guess the one battle that we're looking at from a positions perspective on track right now is Meraki Don in that Haas versus Brian Apples in the Kick Sauber. They're the two guys that are closest to each other. Brian Apples absolutely hauling himself into that rear wing of the Haas, and we might see him make a move now. Patience and composure are key, of course, here on lap 40 of 63 at Imola for Rush Racing League. Here comes the Kick Sauber, having a look on the inside, switching back. But the Haas maintains, but goes off into the gravel. Meraki Don too busy looking in his mirrors where the Kick Sauber was, and he's gone straight on at turn one into the gravel. Doesn't appear to be moving. Can he get himself going again, the Haasman? Yes, he can. But there we go. Spry Napples putting the pressure on Meraki Don. Meraki Don focusing too heavily on what's behind and not what's coming up, and goes off the track. Will he join safely? Nearly comes back on in the road of Sir Joshi, I believe, in that Red Bull. But yeah, wow. Great work from Spry Napples, putting the pressure on, causing the error, making the move, because Meraki Don went straight on.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate you make those mistakes and you end up losing positions very, very quickly. We've got 23 laps remaining of Imola, and yeah, I know what people are saying. Did Roller have a moment that Arby's was second and third? What happened? Well, I think he may have pit. I think he's gone on to those 6-lap intermediate tyres at the moment, as we're still seeing wet conditions, and Viper has even really put himself under pressure now because he's now got 9 seconds. So if anything happens and he makes another mistake, F1NZ could really put the pressure on. It's 8 laps against his 6 laps, 14 seconds behind him. And now Viper has literally got 9 seconds of penalties. Campbell Adams is leading the way. And it looks like he's about to... I think he is that a Ferrari? It looks like he's about to lap the Ferrari of Chandler's, which is he's been phenomenal tonight. Campbell, not so early on though, had a lot of pressure going up to him, as Chandler's does get a penalty as well. And Meraki Don is out. Meraki Don has decided to quit. And why have you decided to please quit? You were in the points. You've just lost Haas points. Why? Why? But the question is, we never know. We never know why, but they've done it, and they've just... Hado will not be happy with that. He was in the points finish, and he has now just retired, but it is what it is. 12 runners left, unfortunately. It's such a shame, as we have lost a few. Shifty Whizzer, he'll be happy with it, and so will Williams. P3 and P11 are jumping in tonight from Division 2. Doesn't care. And this guy obviously does not drive on medium traction, so he's doing a great job in the wet conditions. So big round of applause to him. And he's going to score points for his team, and that's what it's all about. So unfortunate from Meraki Don there. But yeah, I don't know really what else to say on that part. It's just disappointing to lose people when everyone's in the points. Who has the fastest lap?
It is
1:18.396.
I think it's Campbell Adams.
There you go, Dion.
Yeah, I think it's Campbell.
And welcome to the chat.
It is disappointing when we have people that give up and quit. I guess there'll be reasons, frustration. Sometimes from a mental health point of view, we have to make sure we recognise that if racing isn't doing your mental health any good, then I appreciate the fact that sometimes guys have to retire. As much as we sometimes criticise people for quitting, and we don't understand it ourselves, there'll be a reason within their head, and that's fine. Disappointing for Haas, of course, but it is what it is. And we move on with the last 12 drivers, SJ.
Yeah, it is such a shame. But obviously still big points up for grabs for all these guys, and big congratulations to all of them. Even though where they don't finish, or if they do finish, it's still a massive achievement. 63 laps round Imola. You don't really see many 100% races around here, so give yourself a big pat on the back, especially in pouring conditions, literally from probably lap 4, I think it was, all the way through. So fantastic. And there's been some really, really good, interesting racing as well. And there's going to be some more interesting racing, because tomorrow night there is more racing. You've got Division 2 and Division 4. Division 4 up first, 5:15 p.m. AEDT, so feel free to get your alarm clocks. Shifty Wizard just gets the penalty. Unfortunately, that's going to hurt him, but it probably won't hurt him that much because he isn't P12. And then after Division 4, we've got Division 2, so we've got a big night ahead of 200% of races, not obviously in one hit, thank you, but one each. We've got Division 4 up first, and then Division 2 up first. We obviously saw Hennessy leading the pack at the moment in Division 4. Will he lead going into Imola, or will he lead after Imola? We'll have to wait and see, as the pressure is really starting to form in Division 2, as well as Dale Bibbs is leading the way at the moment, but not by a massive amount of points. Kalki is there. He's had a little bit of a go tonight on his own in that P7 position, so he knows what to look forward tomorrow. But hopefully we will have a full grid, and we will have a full lineup on the grid tomorrow night with maybe some new drivers or some reserve drivers. We'll have to wait and see. Then we've got Monday night, where you will see, obviously, myself on the track. I am not looking forward to this. I can not wait to get it over and done with. 100% around here. Big shout out to Hayden. I'm still waiting for a setup, mate. So feel free, as a TP of Haas, to get that sorted for us so we can have a setup to go into racing tomorrow, because at the moment none of us have got no idea what we're doing. So just a big old thumbs up there for Haas. And then obviously tonight you've got the sprint race at Brazil for the Real Formula One. As you've seen, Piastri's lap was blistering, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely cracker's lap from Piastri. Obviously, being a Brit, don't hate on me, everybody, for being a Brit. I'm looking forward to seeing what Lewis can do from P11. Absolutely zero confidence he has in that car going around this track. So it'll be interesting to see what Lewis can do. But yeah, I would suggest that the Mercedes car isn't what we thought it was going to be. Lewis is the one with all the upgrades, of course, after George had a couple of interesting moments, shall we say, over the course of the last few weeks in his car. But of course, George qualifying 6th, Lewis qualifying 11th. So the upgrades are not working for Lewis. The upgrades are working, though, for Campbell Adams here at Imola. 9.3 seconds out in front, 9.4, eking time out all the time. What a race so far from Campbell Adams, SJ.
Yeah, he is just on another level. He is absolutely on another level. He's been absolutely fantastic this season. I don't want to take it away from anyone else, though, because, you know, when you're going up against someone that has got absolute class on the track in all areas, and also as a person as well, obviously started PSGL and not had the best of starts, but teaching drivers, helping, and it just does not seem to make any mistakes. We've seen him make a few mistakes. He wasn't very happy with his Portugal race. When he goes up against someone, it really does push him even more. We saw it go up against DVR last week, and that was a fantastic night of racing in Portugal. But tonight, just no fault. Not one fault, not one mistake, not one track limit. Yeah, you know, he's 9 seconds in front. He's technically 18 seconds in front of Viper. Just does not put a foot wrong. And yeah, it's been extremely difficult for F1NZ to battle Campbell, but he's doing his best. He's done everything he can. And we'll have to wait and see what happens probably for the remainder of the season. It's looking likely it's starting to pull away from F1NZ, unfortunately, as there's another 25 points for Campbell, unless there's anything that happens between now and then. Unless he gets a power shortage, then we might see a change. But it's been really good. It's been a really good battle, and obviously Lefferted coming in as well and helping the McLarens, giving those points. But yeah, no, just a fantastic driver, and just another congratulations, because it just does not make any mistakes at all. And you want to see mistakes, you know. You want to see mistakes from drivers as well. And these guys are doing something which I probably can't do. You know, driving these conditions, as we are starting to see a bit of a dry line now. But, massive. 100% race in wet conditions on all tracks than Imola. Like, yeah. Take my hat off to him.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, you know, you have to tip your hat to these are the elite guys here in Rush Racing League, and sometimes you're absolutely spot on. You just have to sit back and admire the skill. You know, I will never be as quick as these guys. You know, that is just something that I know in my heart, that I will never be anywhere near as quick as these guys. but not just as quick. Some of the racecraft we've seen, although we've seen some ropey Ferrari action tonight, the racecraft we see from these guys week in, week out. Yes, we see incidents. It's league racing, for goodness sake. We're going to see incidents, but 90% of the time the racecraft is sensational. Certainly, when people have come up against Campbell Adams and they've tried to battle, it's been good to watch. These guys do put on a show for us every single week, showtime. And yeah, it's just good to watch. And you have to sit back and admire and actually, take an opportunity. Certainly, when you ride on board with some of these guys, to actually learn about what you're going to do in your race over the course of the weekend. So yeah, sit back, admire, take it all in, and yeah, just make sure you represent yourself in your own race well, I guess, guys, over the course of the next few evenings.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you are tuning in and you want to go up against Cameron Adams in season 8, then get involved. The main thing in sim racing is also having fun, but competing, and you want to compete against the best. And the guy is he is showing that he is one to watch out for, and it doesn't. It's difficult because obviously there's some tracks that maybe not be his best, and they might be Vipers, Joshy Coins, Finns, Roller, anyone on the track. And it's just good to see people going up against people. I'd love to see next season a battle between Left 4 Dead and Campbell against each other. Not on the same team. That would be extraordinary as well. So as Keefe picks up a penalty there, and that's his pushing into 9. So we are going to probably start to see a few changes happening here. I don't know if we are going to see many because there are starting to fall gaps. As you've got 17 seconds between Keefe and Kalki, but 5 seconds between him and Chandler's at the moment. Then you've got Napples that's 25 seconds behind him. So the gaps now are really starting to fall completely out. The closest is 1.8 between F1NZ and Toincoin, as there is a massive penalty gap there between 28 seconds of Toincoin. Can F1NZ cause any problems with Viper and catch up with him? We'll have to wait and see, as we are coming up to 13 laps of racing remaining, and it is still raining, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've just tuned in and you are jumping in now to watch, it is still raining, and well, I don't think it's going to change conditions. What do you think it's going to do for the rest of the divisions, though? 2 and 4 tomorrow night. Do you think we're going to see the same conditions, or do you think we're going to see something different?
I think it'd be nice to see a dry race where perhaps when the rain comes, it just accentuates the skill gap. You can see that by the timings that we've got on the board right now. I think in dry conditions it'll be a lot closer. I think it'll be better in terms of a spectacle with dry conditions. Obviously, people will have more confidence, I guess, going into certainly things like the chicane, the turns down the hill into where the chicane is. So I think it will be a lot more confidence in the drivers, as we had yellow flags in sector 3 there. I think that was somebody just going off at the chicane. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a dry race, 100%er, where you've got guys tussling it out the whole way through. I guess, like you say, the biggest gap at the minute, sorry, the smallest gap at the minute was 1.8. Finns has thrown some fresh boots on, so he's now only 3 tenths behind Toincoin on 20-lap-old intermediates, and he'll get the move done, no doubt, up the hill. Will he? On the inside, yeah, just you can see the difference in grip on the fresh tyres there for Finns as he gets that move done up into P3. And now 42-second gap to Viper, 13 laps to go. Just keep your eyes on that, because I think Finns now on those fresh boots, mate, is going to be flying.
Yeah, he's going to be flying, but 42 seconds is a big gap to pull down there, as we've also seen that Viper is actually, if you take 42 and you minus that from 9, that's what he's got to chase as well, and this will be massive points for F1NZ getting into that P2 position. And Viper has just been fantastic since all season, even switching teams, going from Haas to now RB, and just maybe, I don't know, just the less of the mistakes, he may have a shot going up against, obviously, Campbell next time. And obviously next week for these guys is Hungary, and we're back down to 50% again. So we're back down to back down to short quali. And obviously that's track where it's going to be extremely difficult to make overtakes.
Yeah, there is only really one sensible place to make a pass, and that's down that home straight. Only one DRS zone, of course, at Hungary. And the rest of the track is incredibly technical. One of my favourite tracks, actually, to drive is Hungary. I have had one of my race wins there. I'll just plug myself for one brief moment in time. But yeah, looking forward to Hungary next week. Again, a lot more technical in terms of the drive. If you do lose it there in sector 2 as you go through that chicane, it can be terminal. The terminal turn 4 up the hill, the quick left-hander, again, another track limits problem. And plenty of guys, I think we raced there last season, SJ, and I think we had a turn 4 kill counter that reached number 4, I believe.
Well, George Morgan has just commented, and he's just said Monaco without walls. So well, there you go. You can.
Ironically, I like George. I like Monaco as well. You can't beat a little bit of Monaco. Monaco in the wet, 100%. We should finish the season off with one of those, George. What do you think?
We might lose every.
That would make sensational viewing. Sensational viewing.
We'd either have no league left or no viewership left because we know what I'm afraid. And what we'll do, we'll make
viewers
no damage. No damage.
Good Lord. You'd be wall riding.
It's just drive across the walls all the way along. And at the end of the day, and honestly, things still exciting as well. They got the mystery round, who can rack up the largest repair bill challenge. Yeah, that would be absolutely hilarious. As long as you just don't lose your front wing and lose your tyres, then that would be it, wouldn't it? And then it would be all over. But no, and that's still one. That's still one to watch out for as well, Monaco, because it's in the mystery round. As you know, tuned in tonight. This is round number 15. There is 6 races remaining. Technically, there's 5 races remaining of the official calendar, and obviously you've got the mystery round. The mystery round is going to be really interesting because you've also got the likes of Spain, you've got Miami, you've got Monaco, you've got China, and I think there is one more. I think that might be it that are left. To go to the end of the season as well. So one of these divisions could have Monaco, which changes everything. So we'll have to wait.
So it's a different mystery round for each division. There's a chance that it could be a different track for each division.
It's going to be a different track for each division on the last mystery round end of the season.
Super stuff. And which out of all those tracks, SJ, which would you prefer to drive? Firstly, because of course you will be driving, but which track is your favourite out of those to commentate on? As 39 seconds the gap now with 10 laps to go, so we've peeled 3 seconds off Finn's into Viper. Which is your favourite tracks there? China, interesting. Yeah, I like China. Again, that Shanghai circuit, again, a real good mix of high-speed straights, one of the longest straights in Formula One, of course, that big long back straight down towards a horrific braking zone at the hairpin. But a good mix. I like Sector 2 at Shanghai. That's one of my favourite sectors to drive on the game, personally. I do like it. We see SFR Finns there driving in the wet away from the dry line to try and maintain his tyres and keep them cool. The dry line is forming quite nicely, but nowhere near slick conditions yet. Yeah, I love Shanghai, mate. It's super stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely one of mine. Obviously, prediction came in earlier. No safety cap at lap 53. I can't believe we're saying this. We have seen no safety cars. These guys have done absolutely fantastic. No safety cars, lap 53. Points got awarded to, I'm not sure who it was. The next prediction has just gone out. So we are seeing nobody thought that this would happen. Yes, and people are saying no. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there with that prediction. And that ended a minute ago. Yes, it was 4.7. I'm trying to see who got the points. No, no one's telling me at the moment. We'll just forget that. But yeah, no safety car. No one did. There you go. So fantastic. Yeah, no China, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens within um, the rest of the mystery rounds as well. But there's still plenty amazing racing to go. Just giving you a little bit of a heads up if you are tuning in with us tonight. As George Morgan is in the comments tonight, so I really appreciate you, George, jumping in. But we've got 5 races remaining of the official calendar. So, obviously, this one is Imola. Then we've got Hungary next week, which is a 50%. Then we're going over to the lovely Jacques Villeneuve of Montreal, which is a sprint round. Really good to have Canada back on the calendar. Then we go to Viva Las Vegas, round 18, 100% at Las Vegas. So enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen. And then we've got the absolute terrible track degradation of Austin in Texas, round number 19. And then we finish off the official calendar with Baku, a sprint round at round 20, and then we go to the mystery round, which is out of 5 tracks. So yeah, plenty of racing and some really good tracks coming up. Andy.
Yes, some cracking tracks coming up, mate. Really looking forward to the rest of the calendar. I do need to jump off 1 second. My missus is trying to get hold of me and I need to call her. She's been ringing me 3 times. Give me a sec.
Go ahead. All right, we're going to jump on board with Onboard for Finns going into lap 55. As you can see here, he's got a driver. Oh, this is even more drama because we've got Viper. It's got 12 seconds of pins. Does this cause more of a problem for F1 NZ? We have to wait and see as he's on that lovely dry line, getting out the dry line, then going back into the dry line. And is he gaining on Viper at the rate of knots? We'll have to wait and see. It's 36.1 at the moment. He's got Tommy Coyne behind him with 31 seconds of penalties. He's probably got a penalty on nearly every single corner, which is really unfortunate. Lap 56 out of 63. We are coming up to the closing stages of this race. And it has been a really interesting night. Obviously, the gaps have started to just push out, and there hasn't been much going on lately, but we are starting to see still gaps full. How have Troy and Train not been DSQ'd? Well, hopefully they don't. I think it's 40 seconds. I'm not sure about how it works with 100%. As we see here, that F1NZ is putting the pressure on the Kicksauber, which is probably either Keith or Naples. It looks like he's going to lap. But no, he's looking very, very quick on those fresh inters compared to everyone else at the moment. Campbell, could he still jump off those, get on to fresh tyres and go for the fastest lap and get the double points there, as we see that Naples looks like has come in. And has the rain got even heavier? I think it has a little bit. I think it's actually got worse throughout the closing stages of this race, as we've got Chandler's down there in P9 at the moment, putting pressure on Keithy. And who was that? I think that might have been Roller. Was that Roller or was that someone else? I'm trying to work out who that was. I think that might have been Viper. There have completely lost that. Lost his back end there coming out, but it was a nice drift dynasty, I've got to admit there. We've got Chandler's, though. He's probably the closest. No, it's actually Dragon that's the closest. He is literally 2.5 tenths behind Naples, but I think he's just got the job done. And Chandler's, I think, is the... it's between Chandler's and Keithy, so 21 and 23. This battle is still going on, and this is a battle that is going to go to the wire. One's got 6, the other one's got 9. Can Keithy pull away? That's going to be the question there. 6 seconds and 9 seconds. 15 seconds between Campbell and Viper. Finns is 32 seconds behind Viper, minus that 12 seconds. Toincoin 16 seconds, up in a P4 now. Kelky in a P7. And Sir Joshi getting on those fresh tyres. Does have that penalty, though. Alpine will be very happy with their performance tonight, as Chandler's have to get out the way. Blue flags. Looks like it's Viper. Just have to let him through. And we are coming to the closing stages of this race. Feel free if you've got any questions or any comments. Remember, if you've got any content that you want to send in, feel free to tag us in Instagram and TikTok, Rush Racing League, and we will put it all up for you and tag you in it. Big up to both of our sponsors as well in Pagnian and SimLab. Remember, if you want to get involved in any affiliate programs or any products in regarding Pagnian, then feel free to use our code RUSH24 and you will get a little bit of a discount off. There is a Halloween special on some of their products, so feel free to get in quick before that closes. We've also got NZTV. Thank you very much for tuning in and also working with us. So they do all other racing as well as ACC and GT3 and iRacing. So feel free to tune in to their streams. New Zealand Racing TV. Really appreciate them jumping on board. Oh, there's an incident between Keefe and Chandler's, and they've kept it from together, but that might be one the stewards might look at there. We'll have to wait and see what happens. A little bit of an incident there between the Ferrari and the Kick Sauber there. They're still going to go. Chandler's going at it now. We probably might look at that. Well, Edge, put that in, my friend. Put that in. We gave the place back, but if you want to put that in, we'll see what the stewards have got to say. Guys, also don't forget, things are going to start ramping up in the next few weeks. We are coming. This is round 15. We will be going into round 16 next week in Hungary. We will be planning and prepping season 8. So get amongst it. If you know your mates that want to get involved in sim racing, there is big talk of a Division 6. So we are expanding again to another division. So feel free. We have put votes in. We've put polls in to see what your thoughts are. There are going to be things going out in the next few weeks. Recruitment, regarding stewarding, regarding commentating. So feel free if you want to get involved and you want to join me and Andy in the comms box as always. Lap 59 out of 63. There you go. Andy's even turned around and saying, do it. Get involved.
Yeah, do it. Because why wouldn't you when you've got great stuff like this happening between Keefe and Chandler's down towards turn 1. A big dive down the inside from the Kick Sauber. Gets the job done. Can he maintain this, though? Because the Ferrari is in hot pursuit. Scuderia Ferrari. Oh, Ferrari, whatever it's called. Yeah, making the move there. The Kick Sauber. The red machine. The red one.
And the green one.
Action from the red cars tonight already. The red one and the green one. Yeah, that's what I like about commentating. You can make such massive cock-ups and nobody really cares.
Yeah, well, yeah. As long as you don't swear, that's the main one. Or when trying to keep it PC, but
yes,
you're gonna have a laugh as well. And there's obviously big things happening with the channel points. We're also changing the channel points as well, which is going to be a real nice little spanner in the works as well. And hopefully we'll see Andy Owen back in for next season, as well as Andy. You commentated the first race of WRR the other day, and unfortunately I couldn't make it because I was away for work. But I will be back with you for the second round, and it's been great. It's been an absolute privilege. I know the season's not over, but been an absolute privilege of having you back again for another season in the comms box with myself with more Division 1 action as always.
Yeah, I love it, mate. It's a great start to my weekend, getting to see these guys racing, a privilege in itself to see these guys in Div 1 tussling it out as the Ferrari and the Sauber get into it at turns 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, that will certainly be in the steward's book. Big move from the Ferrari on the inside. Chandler's lost his front end plate on the right-hand side. The Kick Sauber, I saw green fiberglass hurtling through the air. He'll have lost some of his front wing as well, and that will certainly be looked at by the stewards, SJ.
Yeah, I'm putting it in now, unless the onboard steward has gone to sleep. Lap 60, Chandler's and Keithy to be investigated after the race. There we go. So, Keefe getting a 3 seconds as well. And that might have really hurt the rest of his race, as that's put him down to 12 and Chandler's into 6. So there's still big points up for grabs. And F1NZ is 26 seconds behind Viper. Viper currently is only 12. He has 12-second penalty. So 26 take away 12. I don't think he's going to do it,
Still
unfortunately.
14 seconds.
Still
Yeah,
14
it would take a big accident, I think, from Viper to lose P2 here with 3 laps to go, or 2.5 laps to go. It would take a big mistake from him. He knows he's not going to catch Campbell Adams out in front, so it's just keep your car pointing in the right direction and all the wheels on it, and you'll be second step on the podium, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to do this now while we do have a little bit more of action to go. Just a big shout out there to a few of the guys that have tuned in and followed us tonight. So 20 Cent, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. We've also got customer relations for the cheers as well. Thank you very much for that. We've got Liam 201099. Thank you also for the follow as well. And Dion ZXX. Thank you for the follow. Also for the resubscriptions from Panic as well. So I really appreciate the support there and the continuing support as always. And we've had obviously George Morgan in the chat tonight as well. So really good to have his appearance in there as well. Shout out to the lads about pens cracking effort in these conditions. 100% agree. It's been a tough one. We know that Imola was going to be track problems, it has been for some. And we're going to see a little bit of a drama here. So it's Dragon is in that P11 position, Shifty Whizzer in that P12 position at the moment. Everyone's going to get points. That's what it's all about. There is a few investigations going out. We are going to see Campbell Adams come around for one more lap. I'm going to just quickly check because I don't think it is. I don't think safety car was off, but we'll have a look because I'll just have a quick look. Rules and flags. There we go. No, safety car's on, mate. These guys have done a fantastic job. There you go. Seen, line, sealed, and delivered. Safety car is on. So these guys have just been fantastic. And they've done a fantastic job. Andy, I'll let you take it away for the last lap with Campbell Adams. Over to you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. Yeah, so Campbell Adams then down the home straight to start the final lap of the Imola Grand Prix here, round number 15 of the Rush Racing League season. Heading away, and he's been superior tonight in his drive, all the way from qualification in that one-shot quali, which is always tough to do. 5 tenths quicker than his closest rival, which at the time was SFR Fins. But superior drive here from Campbell Adams. Dominated, shown his class in these treacherous conditions as he goes around the hairpin for the final time and climbs up the hill towards the tricky left-hander where you can pick up some time penalties. He won't care right now. He is, although he has flown around there pretty sharpish, he's still got his pedal to the metal and is flying round. Back up the hill he goes then, climbing up through Sector 2 for the final time towards that chicane. Gets past the Alpine, as we do have the yellow flags caused in Sector 1 by a couple of the Williams, I believe. But here comes Campbell Adams then down towards the penultimate corner for the final time on lap 63 of 63 here at Imola. Superb drive from the McLaren man. Not for the first time this season. He races down towards the final line to win the Imola Grand Prix. Congratulations go to McLaren. 21 seconds behind as Toincoin picks up 10 seconds worth of penalties. He finishes down in P7, having been lapped. Viper will cross the line. He'll be P2 as he goes around that final turn. Keithy picks up another 3 seconds. But Viper, great drive from Viper. I know we
on there.
Talk about Campbell Adams a lot, but certainly Viper, super drive from him. The two Williams coming together, just allowing Finn's just allowing Shifty Whizzer through there as he comes through to the final corner himself. Shifty Whizzer will finish in P12, and it will be SFR Fins to claim yet another podium. The man's consistent. He picks up his umpteenth podium of the season. What a great race we've had. I know it didn't give us a great deal of fighting towards the second half, mate. But super driving just demonstrates that you don't always have to battle to have a great race, SJ. Super stuff from these guys. So Joshy crosses the line. He'll finish in P4. And the last few remaining cars out on track will be MJ Roller. Great drive from him as well. Spine Apples and Dragon.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no. Well, that's going to be something to look at from the stewards as Vipers left the session after Roller not finishing the pit line. Oh, that's going to be looked at by the stewards. That would have been silly to do that. Yeah, that's something that you shouldn't do, as we've been told. But we'll have to wait and see there. And the last lap, that's going to be investigations there. Last lap. Ooh. But yeah, Roller getting the driver of the day. Sorry, I'm just writing this out now. Oh, why does that keep coming up? There we go. And right, we'll have to wait and see there. But honestly, what a night of racing. Obviously, we've got we will be having a special interview for obviously the McLaren TP. Great comments from you too, as per usual. Cheers, Lou. Really appreciate that, mate. Appreciate the support, continuing support. Appreciate everyone tonight. And that was the end. There will be a few investigations going up. We've got Cameron Adams taking out the win there in P1, getting the double, the 26 points, 1:18.396 fastest lap. Viper taking P2, F1NZ taking P3, and then obviously we've got Sir Joshi, Roller, Kalki, Toincoin, Chandler's, Keithy, Napples, Dragon, Shifty, Maraki Don unfortunately out. Left for Dead out, Micromash out, Bargeman Cam out, Aiden's Raven all out of this race, which was a bit of an unfortunate event, but not getting the full 20 that we wanted to, as we normally do. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. We'll try and see if we can get the main guys in for an interview, but normally we never get Viper in. I don't think he wants to talk to us, but we'll see what we can do. But Andy, give us a little bit of a summary of tonight's race tonight.
Yeah, I think in summary, I think it's just an absolute privilege to be able to sit back and watch the number of drivers that we've had tonight. I know not everybody finished. Some decided to retire their cars, and that's okay. We've talked about that earlier on. But I think in summary, it's just an absolute privilege to sit back and watch a bunch of guys do 100% race around Imola in wet conditions with no safety cars. Yes, there were a bunch of track limits, penalties, but for that to result in no safety cars is a really, really good effort from the guys. Little bit of interesting chat, no doubt, in the Ferrari garage this week after the incident between Chandler's and Micromash. That'll definitely be looked at by the stewards, I would have thought, for on-track behaviour. But yeah, really summary, brilliant, super stuff. Thank you very much, guys. Great race.
Yeah, no, it was a very interesting night ahead. Obviously, a long night ahead as well. Obviously, 63 laps around Imola. So everyone that managed to get involved tonight and obviously finish the race, congratulations, because that was a massive congrats to everyone, not just for the winners as well, but for everyone that managed to finish the race off. So no, well done. We'll be waiting on obviously F1NZ just to get in the comms box, who is in there now. And Andy, I'll let you take it away with F1NZ for P3. Over to you.
Yeah, F1NZ or Finns. Congratulations on yet another podium. Talk to us about how that race was then for you. Long old race, 63 laps. Just talk us through your evening's work.
It was very boring, really. But I was sitting behind Josh at the start. I let Viffa go. I knew he was going to be quicker, and then I let Josh go. on the straight, and yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to keep up with him, but obviously he cooked his tyres. I got past him, and then I was pulling a second a lap on him, so clearly he'd cooked his tyres already. So I just
Yeah,
kept
so you
driving in the wet part of the track to keep the tyres cold, and yeah, it helped a lot with saving the percentage. And I decided to do that extra pit stop at the end just to see if it was worth it in terms of gaining on those guys. And in the end, it probably was about even. But yeah, spent most of the race by myself, so pretty good. Got 2 warnings on lap 1, and then didn't get one for 62 laps. So I'm pretty happy with that, considering track limits at this track isn't really fair because the edge of the track, the game thinks it's within the track limits. So yeah, not getting a track limits penalty over 63 laps here is pretty good. So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with the podium. I know there's a 1%, not even a 1% chance of me winning the title, but it's good to keep it alive slightly longer just to make me look less bad.
Yeah, I was going to say they a slim chance of winning the title, but really good drive from you. I saw you multiple times utilising the wet part of the track versus the dry line that had formed to keep the temperature down on those tyres. How much of a difference do you think that actually makes in terms of tyre wear?
Heaps, really. In that second stint, I was looking at my tyre temps while doing it, and when I wasn't doing it, my temps were going up nearly 98, 100 degrees. And then after doing it for a few laps, I think it was 7 or 8 laps later, I looked and my tyres were down to 90 degrees. And in my last stint, I did it as well. I was pushing even harder, so I was expecting there to be much more wear and temperature on the tyres, but just by driving in the wet every lap, I was keeping them at 85 degrees, which meant I could save them and they'd be faster for longer. So yeah, it definitely is worth it, because when you're going along there, the tyres get extra cold and it just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. And again, yeah, congratulations for no track limit penalties. One of the few drivers that didn't pick any penalties up tonight in treacherous conditions, of course, with the not terrible rain, but consistent rain for the majority of the race. So well done to you. SJ, anything from you, sir?
Yeah, F1 NZ, mate. That was probably an unfortunate race. Obviously, like you said, a bit boring. It's been a really difficult, obviously, time for yourself. Obviously, still not having a Division 1 teammate. So you've obviously been on your own, and obviously Shifty coming in tonight from Division 2, done his best. How did you find the conditions out there in Imola, even though knowing that the track limits here are absolutely terrible?
Oh, it took me a while to get used to, but probably around lap 17, maybe a bit later than that onwards, I was in a groove. I just knew how to drive it. I knew what track, well, much I could press the throttle down. And even though it got wetter just with the lighter fuel load, we were actually getting faster, even though it was heavy rain at the end. It was nearly wet tyre sort of rain at the end, but just not worth the extra pit stop. So, yeah, I'm happy with my race. Just bit boring, but well done to Campbell and Vipper at the front. Just too fast, and yeah, I thought I might have a chance with all of Vipper's penalties. I think he had 12 seconds at the end, but didn't quite have the pace to keep up with them.
Well, you've done a fantastic race. Obviously, it's another P3. I think it's maybe like the 8th or 9th P3 this season. That P1 will come eventually. We'll have to wait and see when it's going to come. Obviously, next week going into Hungary. Are the next 5 races coming up good ones for you, or worrying ones? Like, how are you feeling in the Williams garage going into the next 5 races?
Well, I hate Hungary. I've done well at Montreal. I just don't really like it. I love Vegas. I know lots of people hate it, but I love it. And it's one of those tracks where you can be quite strategical with DRS and things like that, which is right up my alley in terms of having a bit of fun and messing around. And Austin, I like Austin, but I'm just really slow there. And then Baku, it's another track that I don't really like, but I'm actually quite quick at it. So yeah, I quite like the street circuits on this game. I quite like the technical ones that you have to get chicanes and get as close to the wall without destroying yourself. So yeah, be good to be back at Vegas because that's actually one place that I have won a race in this league because I like getting second places and third places and not actually winning. So it's nice that there is a few tracks that I won at.
Well, I remember Las Vegas last season. I think me and Andy might have even been on the comms box together. I think you came back with a damaged front wing on the last lap. If you remember,
Yes,
you came together.
yeah, I got past.
Yeah, yeah.
I got past Ryan. Oh, that wasn't. Oh yeah, I forgot about last season. I actually don't really want to remember last season after how it went, but yeah, saving my battery, and then I think I got like 3 positions on the last lap, which was nice. But yeah, season 5 was probably nice to win strategical battle with Ryan Cox about when we were pitting for softs, and yeah, got past them and he put it in the wall, which made it a bit more relaxing for me. So yeah, it's a good track for me. So hopefully I can do something there, especially with 100%.
Well, congratulations, another podium, mate. Racking up points. You're putting it. So you're trying to put the pressure on Campbell, but you're finishing in the points. That's the main thing, and it's going to be an interesting one next week because obviously it's a very difficult track to make overtakes. So it's going to be bumper to bumper. So get practicing on that quali, and I think that's where it's going to be won in Hungary. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. But no, a massive pat on the back to you, mate. 100%, 63 laps around Imola in pouring conditions. You should be really, really proud and enjoy the break and enjoy the rest of the week off.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. We are going to jump on board with Campbell as the who has taken the win. So Andy, I'll let you take this one away. Don't give this guy a bigger head than he's already got.
Not possible, my friend. This guy obviously should and, of course, no doubt is absolutely full to the brim of confidence after another dominant display. Campbell, just talk us through your quali lap first, and then just take us into the race and how that panned out for you in terms of the challenge that you got from Viper early doors.
Yeah, my quali lap was one of the worst quali laps I've ever done on this game. It was all over the place. Obviously, a lot of people had issues and valid, and just obviously struggled with the one shot as well. But yeah, I was doing laps 6/10 quicker than that in practice. So yeah, I just had a bit of a shocker there. But the race, it was just a slow burner. Like, it was very, very boring once it got to lap 20 and onwards. I was just managing with Viper. I mean, Viper was very quick initially, and I just knew that I just had to. All I was doing is trying my best not to get any warnings and saving tires. And that first stint was so important. So that's all I was doing. And then I knew Viper's tires were getting a bit cooked. So when that happened, that's when I started to push a little bit. Still not pushing as much as I would have liked, but just keeping it all under control and doing my best not to get a penalty.
Yeah, and I guess it gave you the opportunity to just focus on, once Viper dropped off the back of you after you guys had done a couple of pit stops later on in the race. It just gave you the opportunity just to focus on what was in front of you, not worry about what was behind. We saw a couple of guys get caught out because they were too busy looking in mirrors and not busy looking at what was in front of them, which is the main thing, the main consideration, obviously, when you're playing this game. Super stuff. No track limit penalties. Any warnings?
Yeah, I got 2. I got one when I think one on the mediums really early on, and then the second one was a fair bit later on in the race. And then once I got that second warning, I was being very cautious with the track limits, but not too much. Just keeping it all under control.
Yeah, no, a superb display yet again. I don't know how many wins that is you've had this season, but certainly a handful. Next time out, we head off to the Hungaroring, Budapest. Not a great opportunity for much passing there, but if we have a dry race, I'm sure it'll be a lot closer in terms of times next week versus this week. What's your thoughts on Hungary?
Yeah, I like Hungary. It's all right. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite. So I don't hate it, but I don't think it's one of my best. So I might struggle a little bit.
Well, in your terms of struggling, you said you struggled with the qualification lap and you were half a second up. So I'd hate to see what struggling at Hungary looks like for you. SJ, anything from you?
Yeah, no, I will. Campbell, mate, obviously tonight it didn't go to plan probably as much as you probably wanted to get away. Obviously, Viper did put the pressure on you in a few areas. Did you know that he was that quick, or were you just happy with the pressure to soak it up because you know that he can quite easily get a penalty?
Honestly, you saying it didn't go quite to plan. I think it went perfectly. Like I knew that Viper was gonna try his best to round me up. But I just was taking it very cautiously, doing my best not to, as I said, get warnings or wear out my inters because they wear out so quickly when they get overheated. So that's all I was doing really. Like I knew Viper would have been getting annoyed because I was driving so slow, but that's just how I was controlling it. And if he ever tried to pass, I just burned my battery and slightly defend. But I was never really too under pressure. It was pretty relaxing.
I probably I should probably have referred that to a different way. As in not going to plan, but as in couldn't break away probably as maybe as quick as you wanted to, because he was just always seemed to be there, and he did look a little bit quicker in some areas on the track. But when that 3 second came up, I think you just thought, well, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. Did you come pretty close to any warnings in regarding the track tonight?
No, not one time, really. Just really being as careful as I could with all my inputs, braking, accelerating, and steering. Being as smooth as possible, that's what's crucial in the rain, and that's what I try to do.
Okay, well, we're going to have to get over to our maths teacher in the next few weeks and just see if if you're going to wrap this up before the end of the season. Obviously, Hungary next week. I think it's one of those tracks where it's all about quali. It's back to a 50%er, back to short quali, so you'll be able to show us what you're capable of. Is it a track which you're looking excited for? Are you liking the next 5 tracks? Are you feeling pretty confident in them ones?
I'd say every single one other than Baku. I just don't race. I don't practice or race Baku. Never have. Probably won't anyway. I can't get my head around that track, and I just don't enjoy it. But the other 4, and obviously there's a mystery round, but yeah, the other 4, I should be all right. Canada, I'm pretty confident with, and Vegas, I actually have no clue. But Austin and Canada are my 2 main ones I'm looking forward to.
Well, I think like we probably gave you a big, really, really big head when you look back at watching the stream. You've just been fantastic. You've just been dominant every week, and it's just been great to watch. F1 NZ is trying to put pressure on, and it's honestly to watch tonight. 100% race and Imola. I know obviously we didn't have a full grid, unfortunately, and there was a few that we did pit and quit, but 63 laps with no safety car. You should be very, very impressed with everyone, and should be proud, extremely proud, because that's fantastic to do, especially in those conditions as well. So no, I congratulate you, mate, and once again, obviously putting in the dominant performances each week, and look forward to seeing what you can do in Hungary as well. And we've also got your teammate in here as well, and also your TP, because from obviously tonight's results, that means that McLaren take out the the Division 1 constructors, and we're just going to go straight over to Marzi. Marzi, mate, you've done it with 5 races remaining plus the mystery. You've got to be extremely over the moon with Campbell, Chevy, and Lefty's performances in the last few weeks to take out the constructors for Div 1.
Yeah, of course. I didn't expect it to happen 5 races before the end, but it's a nice thing. And yeah, we didn't plan for this, but it just happened. Big one took away so early. 2 drivers that I have, just a dream to work with. Unfortunately, tonight we had a bit of a problem with the power and internet, but yeah, they were planning to finish 1-2 or 1-3. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for that. Yeah, Campbell. You know, when you think about it, Imola 100% raining. Everything points to catastrophe or some sort of a mistake. But the guy's like, you know, just taking it too easy. I think he's like he's breezing through these races. I don't know what presents a problem for him anymore.
Fantastic. Andy, have you got any questions for the McLaren TP?
Yeah, I guess Lefty, in terms of number one, trying to get you back into the Marzi, sorry, trying to get Lefty back in into the lobby. You may well have been thinking that it had been tough to try and claim the constructors tonight, but to do it obviously with Campbell having romped home to yet another victory, it seems to be pretty easy. What are you wanting? Is it foot off the gas, or are you just going to try and drive this advantage home in Div 1 to make sure that at the end of the season you are way above everybody else?
Well, first of all, this is the division that gives me the most points in the overall constructor. So I'm hoping the boys are continuing with the pace that they're going at now. So because at the end of the day, it is the team's main goal is to win the overalls, and I'm hoping they're still full of morale to take this away and bring back the points that they've been getting all along. And with Lefty's help, I'm sure Campbell can secure that P1 in standings, and they can bring us the points that we need for the overalls. I'm thinking that it will not fall off. It will still be a pedal to the metal sort of thing. And yeah, there's 5 races left, like mystery, so should be fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing the battle for the overall constructors. Super stuff, mate. Congratulations on the Div 1 constructors, mate. Anyway, well done.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, we'll take it to Lefty. Obviously, Lefty not the best of nights for you, and that's not down to racecraft. That's just obviously down to just the game and connections and problems. But you've got to be pretty happy with obviously your performances since you've jumped in the McLaren and to take it out for Division 1 tonight. The constructors and being a teammate of Campbell, and you obviously know him from other leagues as well. You've got to be pretty happy. And would you say it's just on and upwards now? Just keep pushing on and take the overalls for McLaren?
Well, in terms of my performances, I'm not happy at all, really. I mean, I've had nothing but bad luck and just, I don't know, just can't seem to keep myself out of trouble over here. But that's just me struggling to adapt to new drivers and things. But in a constructor's point of view, yeah, I think it's only up, really. Campbell's going to keep winning, and hopefully once I sort my stuff out and just actually have a clean race without any issues, then yeah, it's just going to be more and more points going our way. So for Campbell in the drivers, I'm happy, and constructors, I'm happy, but I just need to start contributing more on my side.
So, are you feeling like the next five? So, if we were to go over the next five races, are they strong tracks for you? Obviously, we've mentioned it to Campbell, and Campbell said he's not Baku is not really one he's looking forward to. But what about you? You've got Hungary and then Canada. Obviously, 50% next week. And then obviously after that there is the sprint at Canada. Are those two tracks that you enjoy, and the remaining as well?
Hungary. I love Hungary. I mean, last time out, last season, I dominated here until the safety car come out, and then this game, I've only won at Hungary, so I'm pretty keen for it. Canada, I'm not so sure about, but I got a league race here on Wednesday, so I'll know then. But pretty confident, and then yeah, pretty much the whole rest of the calendar, I'm pretty happy with, and I'm pretty strong at. Baku is probably my strongest track in the game, so yeah, we'll see.
Well, I hope that confidence and those results get back for you, because we know that you've just absolutely wiped the floor in Wallaby, and even though you DNF'd in Abu Dhabi at the weekend, both of you actually, which was hilarious in the same corner. You've got the talent and you've got the pace, so it'll be definitely interesting to see what you can do for the remainder of the five. And I think Marzi is probably just happy with you just being there and bringing as many points as you can. Do you believe that McLaren have got the pressure on them at the moment on the overalls in the other divisions where some of the other drivers are performing better than you guys, than your team?
I don't think so. I mean, we're in the lead at the moment. That gives the whole team confidence that we're still capable of outscoring everyone. And of course, over the last 5 races or whatever there's going to be a massive push. And I'm sure me and Campbell will start helping out a lot more just for that final push. I know I will be. So, yeah, I mean, not really any pressure. It's just continuing on doing what we've been doing in the early season form that McLaren had. Just if we've been dropping off, just rekindling that a little bit and finding some extra motivation. I think easily we can take it, especially as soon as I start pulling my finger out and scoring some more points. So, yeah, I certainly don't feel any pressure for the team or from the team. So, I think we're all pretty happy at where we are at the moment.
Well, awesome. No, that's the spirit to have. And yeah, we're unfortunate tonight. Obviously, I know it's going to be nothing, not much, but obviously we'll be awarded 1 point. But hopefully things do change and they do fix the connection problems. And it's very, very frustrating when we get ready to go and then all of a sudden we can't get in the lobby. So, and I do apologise on our end on that. As much as we tried to get you in as much as we could, it's probably not the way that you wanted tonight, because you were looking very, very strong at the top there, and I think you would have probably even put pressure on F1NZ and Viper near the end. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but we'll look to see what you can do next week in Hungary.
Yep, it's not your guys' fault, so don't worry about that. It was just, yeah, it's a game issue. It's common, and it's also partly the terrible infrastructure of where I live. Just the power grid can't keep up with all the houses, so yeah, it is what it is.
Well, we do apologise yet again, and yeah, we'll definitely see what you can do next week in Hungary, and I reckon that will be you'll be coming back with some redemption.
Hopefully, yep.
All right, nice one. Thanks, Lefty.
All good.
All right, well, I think that is everyone. Obviously, we've spoken to the TP. Andy, I think, has just had to duck off and he's had to go. Obviously, there was a few incidents in there tonight. There is obviously a few investigations still going on. There is an investigation between the leader and another driver tonight, so we'll have to see how that goes. I don't know if that is going to come of anything, but we'll still wait and see what the stewards have got to do. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It has been a very, very long night. 100% round Imola is not fun, but these guys seem to get round and get around in flying colours. No safety cars in wet conditions all the way through for 63 laps. So a massive congratulations to every single driver that drove tonight, and even the ones that unfortunately did retire as well. But no, big congratulations to Campbell taking up P1. Viper taking another P2. He just does not seem to lose that P2 at the moment. Can he get a P1 next week? We'll have to wait and see. And obviously F1NZ is getting another P3. Still waiting for that P1, and I'm sure it's going to come eventually. I'm sure there's going to be a mistake in Campbell Adams somewhere, but we'll have to wait and see. Thank you ever so much to everyone that tuned in tonight and watching on. Really appreciate the support, continuing support as always. It was a great night of racing in treacherous conditions and some very, very interesting battles. There is more action tomorrow night. We're going to start off with Division 4. They will start off early, so 45 p.m. Is when the lobby opens. 5:15 is when they go lights out. It is starting to become quite heated up at the top there. You've obviously got Hennessy that is leading by a little bit of a margin, but things can change very, very quickly, especially on a race like Imola. And then you obviously got Dynasty as well that's just overtaking Panic in the top 3. So still opportunity there for P2 and P3 there as well. Then you go over to Division 2, which is the last one tomorrow night, and that is definitely heating up. Obviously, you've got Dale Beveridge leading the championship at the moment, but on his tails is Kelky in the Alpine. And now, as we know tonight, Kelky has already had a little bit of a go tonight, so he will know what to do and what not to do tomorrow night. And then we head over to Monday night for Division 5, which is really starting to heat up as well. I think Ducksworth and Fat Eagle are getting closer together now at the top there, and obviously Tyler reigning in that P3 as well. And then we go over to Division 3 on the Wednesday, and that's heating up as well, as Lamb is putting the pressure on Dark and Shadow as well at the top there. So still battles going on, still racing still going on as well. Remember as well, don't forget the Brazilian sprint race that will start off. I don't know how many hours away it is. Get amongst that. It's going to be a really, really good night. We've seen that Piastri is quicker than Norris this time. So are we going to see a double McLaren on the podium? Are we going to see the Ferraris come back and cause more problems that they did last week? Remember, the title is still up for grabs. There's only 5 races or 6 races after this, 5 races after this one. Who's going to win the championship? Max Verstappen does not look very fast at Brazil to his normal self, so we'll have to wait and see. But no, it's going to be a very interesting night ahead. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Big up to all of our sponsors, Pagnian and SimLab. Appreciate everyone as well for tuning in as always. All the comments. Great to have George Morgan in there tonight as well, talking to us as well. So great to have him on there. Big star in the making. Hopefully we'll be taking Crofty or Brundle's seat in the real F1. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure it will happen eventually. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I hope you have really enjoyed it. It's been a really, really good night of racing, of rain, of action, of dominance. And I'm sure there's going to be more of that next week in Hungary. So, yeah, feel free to jump on all of our socials, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and the biggest one is our Discord. We are going to start planning into Season 8. So if you do get a message or you've got mates that want to get involved in sim racing, send them the link, get them involved. They can still get involved until the end of the season. There is only 6 races remaining for Division 1. So get amongst it. It's going to be a great next season as well, and for the remainder of the season. But for now, Campbell Adams takes out P1, Viper takes out P2, and F1NZ takes out P3. And I'll leave you a quote before I go. McLaren have signed, sealed, and delivered Division 1 Constructors. Congratulations to Marzi, the TP. Also, Lifford, Campbell Adams, Chevy Prism as well when he drove. Congratulations to McLaren for taking Division 1. Who is going to take Division 2? We'll have to wait and see very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.